Yo, what's up, y'all? It's your boy, Mark Flo. So, I wanted to do an episode on the Euphoria finale. It was a great episode. It was a very interesting season. So, I've been meaning to do it, but I've been very busy. I've had a packed schedule. So, this is my first minute free. So, I wanted to take a second and do this video for you guys because it definitely had a big impact on me. There were twists, surprises, emotional moments, and plenty of drama. But the thing that stayed with me wasn't the chaos. It was the message. It was a beautiful message of friendship, of loyalty. It was recognizing the people who truly care about us before it's too late. One of the things that stood out to me was the character of Alamo. Alamo thought he had everything figured out. He understood leverage. He understood secrets. He understood how to manipulate situations and people. He believed he was always the smartest person in every room. But what he underestimated was something you can't always calculate. He underestimated true friendship. He underestimated loyalty. He underestimated how deeply people will fight for each other when they truly care about each other. When I look at Ali and Rue, that's what I see. Ali didn't stick around because Rue was easy to love. He didn't stick around because there was something in it for him. He stayed because he genuinely cared about her. He wanted to see her become the person that he knew she could be. That's real friendship. And it's something else that stood out to me. For all of Rue's struggles, she was extremely intelligent. And she recognized what she had in Ali. That's a form of intelligence we don't talk about enough. A lot of people are great at spotting money. They're great at spotting status. They're great at spotting opportunities. But they're terrible at spotting genuine people. Rue eventually realized that Ali wasn't trying to use her. He wasn't trying to control her. He genuinely cared about her. And instead of pushing that away forever, she invested in that friendship. That's wisdom. One of the most important skills in life is learning to recognize the people God has put in your path who truly want what's best for you. When you find those people, don't take them for granted. And there was another thing about Ali that really stood out to me. Ali never loses sight of who he is. His mission never changes. His moral code never changes. His concern for Rue never changes. And he wanted to fight for his friend. That's why it was so powerful when Alamo looked at him and said, "Who sent you?" And he looked him right back in the eye and said, "Rue." Alamo knew the severity of the situation when he heard that. Then you look at Bishop and Maddie. Bishop wasn't loyal because it benefited him. He felt she was genuine. He cared about Maddie and just felt the need to protect her. When someone you genuinely love is hurting, threatened, or in danger, something changes inside of you. That's what Alamo failed to understand. Some people look at relationships as transactions. They think everyone has a price, everyone has a weakness, everyone can be manipulated. But then they run into real friendship. And real friendship doesn't operate by those rules. Be careful how you talk about your friends when you're angry. Be careful how quickly you throw people away. Be careful about speaking badly about someone because of one disagreement. Because the friend you're criticizing today may be the same friend standing with you when it matters the most. The friend you're frustrated with today may be the one defending your name when you're not in the room. The friend you're ready to walk away from may be the one person who refuses to walk away from you. Then there was Cassie. One of the things that struck me was how different things looked when she was finally alone. When all the noise stopped, when the distractions disappeared, when there was nobody to impress and nowhere to run. You can clearly see that she missed Nate. Now, I'm not saying every relationship should be saved. I'm not saying every breakup should end in reconciliation. But I do think there's a lesson there. Sometimes we don't fully appreciate people until they're gone. Sometimes pride gets in the way. Sometimes anger gets in the way. Sometimes we're so focused on what someone did wrong that we miss everything they did right. And the opportunity to repair things passes. Don't take people for granted. Don't take your friends for granted. Don't take your mentors for granted. Don't take your family for granted. Because one day you'll realize that the things we often chase, money, status, attention, being right, aren't nearly as valuable as the people who stood by us when life got hard. And finally, there was Lexi. Seeing Lexi reading the Bible was one of the most hopeful moments of the finale for me because it reminded me that everyone is on a journey. Some people are 10 steps ahead of us. Some people are 10 steps behind us. Some people are opening a Bible for the first time. Some people have been walking with God for decades, but we're all somewhere on the path. That's why I try to be careful about judging people. I don't know what God is doing in their life. I don't know what battles they're fighting. I don't know what wounds they're carrying. I don't know what chapter of their story they're in. As a Catholic, we believe God is constantly calling people closer to Him. Sometimes that journey starts with suffering. Sometimes it starts with friendship. Sometimes it starts with a hard lesson. And sometimes it starts with something as simple as opening a Bible. The lesson wasn't that everyone suddenly became perfect. The lesson was that people can change, people can grow, people can heal, people can find God. And maybe instead of asking why someone isn't where we think they should be, we should be grateful they're taking another step towards where God wants them to be. So that's my takeaway from the Euphoria finale. Alamo thought he understood power. What he failed to understand was friendship. Rue showed us the wisdom of recognizing good people. Ali showed us integrity. Bishop showed us loyalty. Cassie showed us the danger of taking people for granted. Lexi showed us that growth begins when we seek something greater than ourselves. And maybe the biggest lesson of all this, the lesson of this finale is simple. Don't underestimate friendship. Don't take good people for granted because you never know who is praying for them, fighting for them, and will stand with them. Because genuine friendship, genuine loyalty, and genuine love are some of God's greatest gifts. God bless, and I'll see you next time.